Good morning. This is Shirley, the herb lady. We're going to chelate. We're going to talk about chelation. Now, chelation is Chelation. I have chelated myself 3 times. My husband has chelated, and he had hurt his ankle in the Army. And when he said he put his foot down when he got up in the morning getting from the bed on the floor, he said it would just ache. Well, when I started him chelating, it completely turned around and he wasn't in pain no longer. And we were so happy on that. Well, what happened to me, I took the 2 girls down to the lower 48 to visit Mom in Indiana. And Mom was in her 70s. I was in my late 50s. And it was so funny. I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work till 12. And my mom said, "What in the world are you on?" I remember her saying that. And I said, "Well, Mom, I'm chelating." And she said, "Well, whatever it is, give me some. I need it." And what it is vitamins. It's a heavy dose of vitamins that they make specially for chelation. And then you take your minerals, and then you take something to keep your organs cleaned as you're chelating. Because chelation means to claw your veins. And you have got 60,000 miles of veins. And how you clog them up? Fried foods. Just eat your fried foods and dairy products and cheese, and you just be all clogged up, and you wonder why I had a heart attack, I had a stroke. Well, you did it to yourself. So what you do is you can clean them out, and after a while, after chelation, your energy will just be really good. But it's good to chelate like once every other year or something, just to keep the veins open. And I had this truck driver, he was chelating, and his wife would call up and tell me, he can see the signs faster, he can see better, he can hear better. And he was so excited about it. And then there was the first lady that we ever listened to about chelation. She had been a cheerleader, and she had broke her wrist, and her wrist always gave her pain. She said after she chelated, no more. See, what it does is it opens up the veins and arteries, because it means to claw the veins and arteries, and it opens up so the blood can go in there and heal it. And what it is the body healing itself. After I started teaching about chelation, a lady called me up, was a teacher, and she was teaching cooking classes. And she said, "I want you to come over and teach on herbs." I went, "Well, the herbs I use is for really repairing your body, not for cooking." She said, "I want you over here anyway," because we spoke over an hour on the telephone. And she said, "I'm going to give you 2 hours instead of 1 hour," because she said, you know your information. So I went over there, and there was this whole gob of young teenage kids that was taking the class to become cooks. And so I was teaching, and come to find out, she took me into her office, and she brought me over for her. She had high cholesterol, and she wanted to know how to get rid of it. And I told her chelation would help. It would first raise it a little bit, but then it would lower it. And after 3 weeks of chelation, she called me up. She said her doctor said he could not believe. She did go up a little bit at the beginning, and then she lost, 30. Her cholesterol went down 30 points. And the doctor, in 3 weeks, he said, "I can't believe this." He said, "What you doing?" She said, "I'm taking vitamins and minerals." So she was and she kept on it for a while to get her cholesterol down to where it's supposed to be. And she did it through chelation. I talked about it, and so he chelated. And I can remember my daughter calling and said, "What did you put him on?" Because he could work all day and come home and mow grass. And you just have more energy. Because when you open your blood up, and you give yourself all those vitamins, minerals. See, it depends on how much you weigh. On chelation, like the first week, you start out with 1 and 1 in the morning for the first week, and then the second week, 2 and 2 tablets, then 3 and 3, and then 4 and 4. But see, what you're watching for is if you get a headache or you just don't feel good, you don't stop. You back down. Like if I'm up to 4 and 4, I back down to 3 and 3. Because what it means is you're pulling so much plaque out, your body can't handle it right now, and you got to do it slowly. Listen to your body, because your body, it puts up with you, because it knows what it needs. It doesn't say we always give it to it, but like if you're a small frame, under 150 pounds, you only go up to 4 and 4 a day, 4 in the morning, 4 in the evening, but you have to go up slowly. But if you're average over 150 pounds, you go up to 5 and 5 tablets a day. And then if you're over 160 pounds, you go up to 6 and 6 tablets. And this is for all kinds of people, people that has varicose veins. I have nurses that does it. Just anybody that needs the veins open and let the body repair itself. But it's mostly with vitamins and minerals, and then you take ET. Has been around since 1920, and ET, most of the time we use it for cancer, but what it does is it cleans out your organs, and I stick them on 3 and 3 tablets of ET just to protect themselves from themselves, because when they're pulling that plaque out, I don't know what they ate. I mean, it could be rancid hamburgers, rancid well, I'll tell you one of the fats that's rancid is bacon grease. Back in the old days, my mom used to put it in the middle of the stove and use bacon grease for gravy and all that stuff. Well, fat you're supposed to put in the refrigerator, but they never knew that. So they just kept it on the stove, and it turned rancid, and they didn't even realize it. And then hydrangea, you take 2 and 2 hydrangea. Hydrangea helps to dissolve the calcium that's in your joints and everything like that. And then the last thing you take is minerals. You take 2 tablespoons in the morning, 2 tablespoons. So there's 4 products that you take for chelation. And then you say, well, how long do you do it? Depends on how old you are. Like I'm 70 years old. Well, I'm 76 this year. I'm 77. So I would round it off to 80. And I would divide it by 10. And I would do it for 8 months. And then if you're over 20 pounds overweight, for every 20 pounds, you do another month. And so I know I need another 20 or 40 pounds off. So I don't think 20 pounds would be fine. So I would do it probably 9 months. And then you would just chelate and you would feel good. And as I said, some people can see better. Some people can hear better. Other people just get more energy. Everybody does something different. And so I've got people chelating right now. It's mostly, it just improves the circulation. And when you improve the circulation, that means your blood is flowing through it, and you have more energy. And what it does, it bonds like a magnet. It goes through, and they got those herbs, and it says right here, it says natural chelating is bonding reaction and surrounds the plaque like a magnet, attracting like metal, and it just pulling the junk out and taking it out through your waste material or through your urine. It gets rid of toxins, metal, so sometimes you may not feel good, but if you keep drinking lots of water and chlorophyll water, you'll pass it, because what it is you're pulling the toxins out of your body, and you can't blame nobody except you put it in there, so you got to pull it out, and it doesn't go out by itself. And I had one lady, now see, this is oil chelation, but there's also a liquid chelation that you can go to the doctor, and every time you go, it's $100. And I think this one lady went down to Mexico and she spent $10,000. I remember her in my kitchen talking about it. But they didn't tell her what she did wrong. What she did wrong, she spent $10,000 for chelation. Now this is liquid. This has nothing to do with what I do. I do tablets. And anyway, she said they didn't tell me to go home and eat right. And she didn't. She went back and started eating like she did. All the symptoms came back. She said, why didn't they tell me? I said, some people are not a teacher. So that's why I work with people. If they have a problem, I try to help them to find out what problem they have, and then we work with it, because every person is completely different. Chelation is safe. The material which blocks the vessels is built up over 30 and 40 years. And it can be cholesterol, it can be muscle tissue. They're all bounded together with calcium, which forms plaque, and it's just something that you've got to get rid of. Okay, where did you get your free radicals? Well, if you were smoking or around a smoker, you get tar from the tobacco, or if you did oils, unsaturated oils like bacon grease, like I was speaking about, eating bacon, or any kind of pork, or any kind of even meat, red meat, it's that fat does not break down in your body, and it clogs up your veins and arteries. And then that's why a lot of people have heart attacks and strokes. They go, oh, I'm all clogged up. Well, why? They're eating against the blood type. See, the very first thing you do is this right here, if you eat towards your blood type, like me and my husband, we try to, and today my husband is 77 years old, and I want to say happy, happy, happy birthday to him. But, I mean, he's 77, and they've sent him home twice, two different doctors, to die. And we use God and herbs, and God just shows you what to do. And honestly, he does miracle after miracle. And I keep telling people, why not use herbs? Because God made them. I mean, they're not going to hurt you, but you have to know how to use them correctly. And that's why I went through hundreds of classes. Constipation also gives you a poison in your body. And then smelling gas is a poison. And hair dye and fingernail polish is a poison. And nitrates, like if you eat hot dogs, bacon, or what else? Ham has nitrates, and it's pure poison. And x-rays, when you get x-rays. And chlorophyll in the water produces chloroform in the body. But let's go back to constipation. I'll spell it to you. This one gas that your body makes literally poisons you, and then when you have gas, you can make other people sick too. But it's called 3-methychollantrene, and that gas is pure poison. It said when it's absorbed in the bloodstream, and when you don't have vitamin E, it says it causes your DNA to mutate. But guess what? If you have vitamin D and have this gas, they said it's like a pussycat. It doesn't bother your DNA. So I would challenge you, if you have a lot of gas, first, you're not taking enough enzymes because you're not digesting your food. And the second, I would take vitamin E till my gas pass, and friendly bacteria. All that stuff will help. And you got to increase your fiber. Everybody should have a tablespoon of fiber, and not that junky stuff that's got sawdust in it, but a good fiber that takes a hold of the sides and pulls it out. And in this one chelation book, this mortician said he don't hardly have to put any stuff in the people's body anymore. He said 70% less of formaldehyde, because people's veins and arteries is so clogged up. And he said that's after they turn about 30. After 30, he said they're all plugged up because of all the junk food that they eat. Because one of the main things that clogs your veins and arteries up is sugar. And people say, oh, I love sugar. But they've got kids having heart attacks and stroke because of them eating sugar. Weakness in your body, like weakness in kidneys, we have something that's called lymph gland drainage and kidney drainage to help. If you have a weakness in liver, see, if you have a weakness in your body, you tell me which weakness, and I just add a couple more herbs to just protect, like the kidneys, or the liver, or the heart, or the varicose veins. Cacao has also been used for cold hands and cold feet. People don't realize how it's the circulation that's causing that. Most of the time I say it's the thyroid, but a lot of times it can be the circulation. And chelation is probably the most successful method to extend lifespan and the best procedure for having a healthy and more symptom-free time as you age. Because as you age, you just don't feel good. But this morning I got up and I felt great. I was shouting. So you can either be happy and feel healthy, or be sick and suffer. So God gives you a way to do it by going to his herb shop. And God made the herbs, and so let's use them.